there wasn't any AI to help with ideas. Hi, I'm Roxanne Miller. I'm a content creator, model, and the author of Unsexy Healing Without Hashtags. Over this channel, I'm doing plenty of fun things, in between which I speak about mental health, physical health, integrating the energy, even some behind the scenes kind of truths. And today I'm going to spill the tea a little bit because it's Wicked Wednesday. So if you're into these kind of things, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment down below what you're thinking, and let's roll it. So a few years ago, I was working with a cam studio. I don't know if you are aware of what they mean and what they are, but I can do a totally different video regarding them and explain you what they are. So I was a trainer, a model trainer, and also a photographer there. And one of the sites we worked with had monthly contests on a theme. Now, there were 25 women involved in this contest each month and one theme. And guess who had to create all those ideas and all that content? Yeah, I was joking about the fact that I will be a creative director if I work one more year there. I did a lot of stuff and I'm really proud of all the ideas that I came across, and I did a lot of research. And back then there wasn't any AI to help with ideas, which is really handy right now, but back then I had to work my I'll stay safe to not get demonetized. And one of the subjects that I had to work on was related to the feet, right? So you have these and you have 25 women. Trust me, I knew nothing at that point about and it was eye-opening in it. So I did all these ideas from, nail polish to heels to toes to arching to fishnet pantyhose, heels, you name it. Now, what I'm going to say, actually, I wanted to be helpful for other models who are looking at this, and I wanted also to be funny for the people who are curious what goes behind the scenes. And and also I think it's kind of trauma dump for me too. Now, we are shooting in full HD, a lot of close-ups, because it involves a very tiny part of a body. Out of those 25 women who were announced, next week we are going to film on this subject, be prepared, 70% didn't have their pedicure made. And now, out of all these women, plenty of them were struggling moms, but at least you can do your best and use a nail polish at home. You don't have to go to a parlor when you are announced. And also when this content is created to also bring you money forward. It wasn't only for that kind of contest, we would use them on other platforms as well. Then they would come and say, I didn't have time to shave. And I don't mean the hair was 2-3 days. It was weeks. We did also dirty feet, but this one was not on the dirty feet kind of subject, and I had to make her go wash her feet. Now, I know that there is a difference in between hiring somebody to take your pictures, but even then, even I did those mistakes in my youth. I would hire somebody and say after that, I didn't have time to dye my hair, or I didn't have time to properly do some grooming. It was excuses, and it was also a lot of trauma manifesting on my body because I didn't heal myself, and I didn't know that all the self-sabotage that I was doing was basically a response to trauma and a response to the fact that I believed I'm not worthy of that. I was paying for a service, not thinking I was worthy of having full quality product after that. Imagine that. It's really, and I know where these models were coming from. I spoke with them lengthy, and I know they were involved in a lot of trauma, and they were dealing with harsh relationships at home. Plenty of them were single moms at the brink of being poor, you know, and I understand that there are struggles, and I know that it is going to sound unhinged, but I know for sure firsthand plenty of the people that end up working in the adult industry have some sort of mental disease, mental issue, mental trouble, mental disorder, trauma, and stuff. I have never met anyone who was not touched by a mental kind of issue in the industry. It takes a lot of healing to get to the point in which you don't let it consume you, but that's for another kind of video, and you will find plenty of those on my channel. So yeah, for the models, take this. When you have photo shoots, shower, wash your hair. If you have makeup and hair paid for, good. If not, do your makeup, do your hair, do your grooming, shave, wax, if that's in your brand, if not. Do your nails, do your manicure, do your pedicure. Have a small kit with you that will contain something to stop bleeding if you fall, some makeup to touch it up. If you are wearing stuff like nylon and it can break, it's good to have some see-through nail polish to stop it from going further, or just break it and make it a sin, or have another pair prepared in case of. It's good to not eat 12 hours before the photo shoot so you avoid bloating. Don't drink any sparkling water because it's going to bloat you, and sleep well before it. It's really, really important. I know that you are going through self-sabotage and not be able to sleep that night, but eventually, if you are going to keep on working on yourself, you're going to get to the point where you are going to be well rested and well hydrated and well fed, in the point of not being uncomfortable the next day. Because this is another thing that plenty of models told me before shootings: I am bloated. But we will talk about that in another episode. I'm really happy that you have been here. I wanted to spill a little bit of tea behind the scenes in order to educate and in order to amuse a little bit. For me, it was a frustration because one of the models told me, you can Photoshop it. Like, she had full-blown hair on her legs, right? And I was like, dude, it's 60 frames per second. So we have to make it 1 minute. So it's going to be 3,600 pictures in that video alone. So for me to edit so many pictures, the studio would fire me before they pay me for that. So yeah. Also back then there weren't so many smoothing filters and stuff like that, but also I want to tell you, and this is not something that I want to be, on a higher ground for, but I stand for, alright, I'm smoothing skin, not on videos because I find it daunting, and I'm using Premiere, Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, and I do not want to go through all the hassle. I know CapCut has that. I don't see why I should pay 2 subscriptions for software, so I'm not. On pictures, I do use some smoothing on the skin because this is one thing that I'm conscious of and I want them to look presentable. But I'm not going to liquefy myself, as in to shrink myself and to cut parts of my body just look smaller. I've seen it happening times and again, and I don't find it honest. Like, if I have a belly, what good does it serve me to hide it in the picture when I pass by the mirror and I go in depression because there is a dissonance in between the way I want to present myself to the world and the way I actually am. This is a little bit of food for thought. So if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe, please like, please tell me your story. If you're a model, you can reach me out and I can help if I can. And yeah, excited to see you in the next one.